Hello everyone, my name is Guy and I'm making now the second video because previously I was complaining that I failed my ICAO English Proficiency Test. And so I decided after it's been a while for 3 weeks and I had a lot of questions when the video was published, what happened and what can be achieved in order to fix it. So I decided to do another video, and this time I had questions also about the first part of the test and the second part, the communication skills test. And of course I'm going to start with the second part, the ones that I failed previously. And I need to say huge thank you for I took a tutor, somebody who assisted me and provided me pointers what and how should I speak and the exam and what I need to pay attention to, and for me to be able to provide correct information and show that I am aware of what I'm speaking and in what situation I am. I need to say another thing before I'm gonna start. I provide sales explanations and tutorials for the past 10 years and more. And basically I use, for example, it's one small example, when you use in sales, you use nevertheless instead of but. But it's a negative word, nevertheless it's something that less negative. So I apparently used quite a lot, and I was mentioned about it after my exam. I asked what I can improve for the future or what is lacking for me to go to the number 5 level. So the reason I use it because my English is sales oriented. So I am accustomed and I know the exact pointers when and how to speak. Apparently in aviation English or in normal English, the pointers are quite different, and you need to speak appropriately, and you need to speak understandably, and you need to speak in the correct terms. So when first I came to the exam, my surrounding told me that all I need to do is just to speak English. So I explained, okay, we have here a tail, we have here a plane crash, okay, it's broken in two. That's how I spoke. Or for example here, so we have a lot of people here, okay, and we see that the plane crashed, and we see that it crumbled or something like that. So everything that I just said is strictly forbidden to say in English proficiency test, because it's just incorrect English in aviation. So of course, keep in mind I got 4 and I have huge way to go to have the 5 level. If who just met me, I got my license, private license 2 months ago, and I did only several flights by myself after it, and I live in Israel, so everything in Hebrew and not in English. So and it's more basic communication than the level in the English proficiency test. In the English proficiency test, the level is if you are a pilot in command in this airplane, and not as if you're a pilot in command in Cessna flying near your airfield and so on. So let's start with this image. So the first important thing that you must address in proficiency test, you just need to already go to the immediate problem. And the immediate problem, we can see here that the plane crashed and the fuselage is broken apart. Also, people who saw my previous video knew that I didn't know the word empennage. Okay, it's basically the this part of the fuselage. It's called empennage. It's basically taken from the way aero built. So this is why it's empennage. And what we can see here, that the wings are once again, bear in mind that still my English is not, as I mentioned before, in a higher level. Nevertheless, we can see that the exit doors are fully opened. We can see that the pilot area, the front pilot area is just not intact anymore. We can see fully damaged fuselage. The right engine is nothing left from it, and we can see also that it is airliner Pegasus, that from Turkey, of course. We can see it's also on the ground, and probably after all the scenario is already over. Also, we can only imagine, due to I believe it's approximately to the airfield, that the plane, as you can see, it had flight controls, and we also can see, we can assume that it was going to land into landing, or maybe takeoff. By the way, we don't know from where, in what part, but it looks like it's crashed from top. We can see that the escape doors are open. We don't see any slides, and so on. So this is the first example, not a very good one, my apologies, but just to keep you in mind, that not only to explain the situation, but also to what I assume happened. Did the pilot in command had the controlled pilot in command? Are the wings are leveled? It's a dual engine airliner. So these small important things are very important. Okay, we can speak about the second picture here, and just to once again give a comparison without the of course. The is it means that your English is not proficient enough. So we can see a plane landed in we can see plane landed on the road in mid-town. We can see emergency vehicles assisting the airplane, probably after the pilot, and maybe if there were more people inside, evacuated. We can see damage to the horizontal stabilizer, and what we can see more extra. We can assume that the pilot was trying to land due to level of the Cessna. We'll assume it's Cessna, or it's single engine airplane. We don't know if it's Cessna, it's single engine airplane. And so probably in United States. It looks like the pilot had directional control, and we can see cables. So probably the pilot was trying to land and took out electricity line while was landing. Let's stop here. So this is the first part what they're looking for. So once again, explain the picture what happened right now, correct terminology, and the assumption what was happening before the crash happened or after it. So this is the questions that might be, or the way that you're supposed to talk. Another thing was, of course, the ATC communication. And ATC communication in Israel starts from emergency. I was provided with, I was flying from Haifa from Israel to Larnaca, and I don't remember, 6 miles before the approach, before the landing in Larnaca, I had some emergency. Let's say right now it was smoke, okay? No, not smoke. Let's say I had an ill passenger right now coming on to Larnaca, and I'm supposed to provide start communication with ATC. And once again, here you need to know, take a minute, because they want also for you to have awareness where you are, not just to say communication, but also awareness what you're gonna say. Let's open Larnaca map so it will be much easier to do. Okay, Larnaca, let's see. So what they're looking for is the communication, that you start the communication. It doesn't work right now, never mind. And the communication is supposed to be very, you need to know the structure. So basically it's radio telephone exam, and you need to know how to speak, and you need to listen, and you need to, of course, to write down. I'll give right now a short short example. Pen, 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 Nicosia Control, Charlie Golf India, 6 miles, 6 minutes from Nicosia, flight level 3,000 feet. We have an ill passenger on board requesting priority for landing. And then, of course, the ITC plays his part. Please provide more information, for example, or whatever ITC you're gonna ask. And you need to reply, for example, we have 1 hour of fuel on board, we are 4 souls, we have 1 passenger we assume it is a heart attack, requesting immediate direction and priority for landing. And then it continues. Also, it's very important to add, if you have, for example, an ill passenger or any emergency, to request also emergency vehicle on standby, because if it's a heart attack, you have several minutes and the passenger, can have a heart attack on the plane and you're gonna die. So you request also emergency vehicles standing by at the airfield for landing. You can go up to landing, and once you land, you can request also for the emergency vehicles to come to you and not to taxi out from the airfield, depends on the situation. Hopefully I hope it will assist. I want to say thank you once again to my tutorials for my teacher who assists me online. We only did 3 hours, so you understand that I have a long way to go. And I really hope this will point out more features, and I'm gonna listen to your reviews, and maybe next time I'll be able to prepare a more professional video. As you can see, I'm as a pilot and I'm as someone who provides information, going step by step with you guys. We assume you're having the same issues in the beginning. I'm not talking about from the professional pilots that gonna also provide feedback and so on. So until the next time, my name is Guy. See you.